The internet exploded last night when none other than Stephen A. Smith, the fiery voice of sports commentary, decided he had seen enough of Travis Hunter's off-field drama. In a move that nobody expected, Stephen A. went live on Instagram, live, and confronted Travis directly about the rumors surrounding his wife. Fans couldn't believe their eyes. Imagine scrolling through your feed expecting another hot take about the NFL, and suddenly you see Stephen A. Smith, finger wagging at the camera, calling out Travis Hunter by name, while thousands of viewers flooded the chat with "What is going on?" The tension was off the charts. Stephen A. wasn't pulling any punches, demanding answers about loyalty, respect, and what he called the betrayal that's rocking the entire sports world. And Travis? He didn't stay silent. The young star fired back, voice shaking but defiant, accusing Stephen A. of crossing the line and dragging his personal life into the spotlight. Fans said it felt less like a sports debate and more like a reality TV showdown. The IG Live was messy, emotional, and downright shocking, leaving everyone wondering what exactly is happening behind closed doors in the Hunter household. The moment Stephen A. Smith went live, it was like the internet froze in disbelief. People are used to his passionate outbursts on television, his long-winded rants about basketball or football, but nobody expected him to take this energy straight to Instagram and aim it at a player's personal life. Thousands piled into the stream within seconds, comments flying across the screen so fast you could barely read them. Emojis of fire, shocked faces, and endless lines of "no way this is happening" flooded the live. The sports world, already buzzing with rumors about Travis Hunter's wife, suddenly had front row seats to a confrontation nobody thought would ever happen. Stephen A.'s voice thundered through the phone speakers. "Travis, my brother, I'm telling you right now, you can't play games with your family, with your marriage, and then come out here acting like nothing's wrong. The people see it, the fans see it, and I see it. You gotta answer for this." His tone wasn't just critical, it was personal. Like an older mentor scolding a young athlete who had crossed a dangerous line, Travis appeared on the split screen. His face tight, jaw clenched, clearly caught off guard. He looked like he hadn't planned on this at all, but the moment had cornered him. "Man, Stephen, with all due respect, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what my family's been through. So don't sit here acting like you've got the answers." His words were defensive, his eyes darting around as though searching for an escape. Fans watching could sense the tension. It wasn't just about a rumor anymore, it was about pride, about respect, about a young star being held accountable in front of the world. Stephen A. leaned in closer to his camera, eyes sharp. "Don't tell me I don't know. Everybody knows, Travis. Everybody sees your wife out here with people she shouldn't be with. Videos, pictures, whispers from teammates. And you want to pretend it's nothing? Come on now. This ain't the time to hide." The chat exploded. He exposed him. Stephen is speaking facts. Travis in trouble. Every second felt like a new dagger. Travis shook his head, frustration boiling over. "Look, man, what y'all think you see, what y'all think you know, it ain't the whole story. My wife, she's been by my side since day one. People try to tear us apart because they can't stand to see me winning, both on the field and at home. Y'all feeding off lies, man," but Stephen A. wasn't buying it. His voice rose and his words carried a sting that echoed through every viewer's headphones. "Travis, don't sit there and lie to me, and don't lie to yourself. When your wife shows up courtside with one of your teammates, when she's smiling, laughing, touching his arm in front of cameras, that ain't no lie. That's reality. And if you can't face it, then you're not ready to face the truth about your own life." Travis slammed his hand against the table he was sitting at, the sound echoing through the live feed. "You don't know what conversations we had behind closed doors. You don't know what she told me, how she explained it. Yeah, maybe she was out there, maybe she made mistakes, but she's still my wife. You don't get to disrespect her on live like this." The energy shifted. Suddenly, it wasn't just about rumors, it was about loyalty. The young star defending his wife's honor against a veteran commentator, who seemed determined to drag her reputation through the mud. Fans in the chat were split, some siding with Stephen A. for calling out what they saw as blatant disrespect, others rallying behind Travis for standing by his woman. And then came the twist that sent shockwaves across the internet. Stephen A.'s voice softened just slightly, but his words carried even more weight. "Travis, let me ask you this. If you trust her so much, then why did I get a message last week from somebody close to you telling me you broke down in the locker room over her? Why did your own teammates whisper to me that you don't even know if the baby she's carrying is yours? Silence. Pure, deafening silence. Travis froze, his eyes widening, his lips parting but no words coming out. The viewers erupted in chaos, typing in all caps, spamming emojis, begging for answers. It was the kind of moment that makes or breaks reputations. Travis finally found his voice, low and trembling. Man, you really gonna do me like that on live? You really gonna bring that up when I'm still trying to figure out what's real and what ain't? His vulnerability cracked through the screen, and suddenly the tough young star looked like a man drowning in uncertainty. Stephen A. didn't let up. Yes, I am, because you can't keep running. You're a role model, Travis. Young kids look up to you. Families cheer for you every Sunday. But if you're out here broken, if your home life is shattered, how long before it bleeds into your career? How long before you self-destruct like so many before you? The words cut deep. Viewers could see it on Travis's face, the way his jaw trembled, the way his eyes blinked rapidly to hold back tears. This wasn't just a debate anymore, it was a public unraveling. And then, unexpectedly, Travis's wife herself appeared in the background of his feed. She walked into the frame, clearly having overheard everything. The chat went berserk. She's here. This is wild. Bring her to the camera. Her expression was unreadable, part anger, part shame, part determination. She leaned down and whispered something in Travis's ear, but Stephen A. wasn't having it. No, 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 he said quickly. Don't whisper now. If you're here, if you're listening, step up and tell the people what's really going on. Stop hiding in the shadows. The wife's eyes narrowed as she straightened up, glaring into the camera. You don't know me, you don't know us, she said, her voice calm but cold. You sit there on your shows and talk about athletes like they're characters in your drama, but we're real people with real pain. Yes, I made mistakes, but you think blasting them in front of millions makes anything better? The confrontation had reached a whole new level. No longer just Stephen A. versus Travis, now the wife was in it too. Defending herself against one of the loudest voices in sports media, Stephen A. leaned back, folding his arms, his eyes never leaving the screen. You're right, I don't know you personally, but I know what the world sees. And right now, the world sees a family crumbling, a husband questioning his wife, and fans losing faith in the young man they thought was untouchable. If you want to fix it, don't yell at me, show us the truth. The wife's composure cracked just slightly, her voice trembling now. The truth? The truth is complicated. The truth is that Travis and I have been fighting for months. The truth is that yes, I was around his teammate, but not the way people think. The truth is that this family is holding on by a thread, and people like you are cutting it thinner every single day. Her words hung heavy in the air, leaving both Travis and Stephen momentarily silent. The live was no longer just entertainment, it had turned into a raw, emotional confession that felt too real to look away from. And just when it seemed like the tension might break, just when it looked like someone might finally hang up, Stephen A. leaned forward again, his voice low and deliberate. So then tell me, if that's the truth, then whose baby is it? The screen shook as Travis leapt up from his chair, his wife gasping beside him. The chat exploded once more, people typing faster than the screen could keep up. And that's exactly where the first part ended, on the question that had everyone holding their breath, waiting for answers that might destroy everything. The moment Stephen A.'s words cut through the live, then whose baby is it? Everything spiraled into chaos. Fans screamed in the chat like they had front row seats to the most shocking episode of a reality show. Hearts, broken face emojis, and comments like, "No way he just said that," flew by at lightning speed. Travis, red in the face, paced back and forth on screen like a caged animal, his hands pressed against his head, muttering words that didn't fully come through the mic. His wife froze, her hand clutched against her stomach, her eyes glassy with tears. It was the first time viewers saw her walls break. The weight of the accusation pressed down on her, and everyone could see it. She tried to speak, her lips trembling, but Travis interrupted, his voice louder than ever. Don't you dare let him drag this into the open like that. This is our business, not theirs." His words were meant for his wife, but Stephen snapped right back. Our business? Travis, your business stopped being private the second the world saw her with your teammate. The second people started questioning who's sitting at your dinner table and who's holding her hand when you're on the field. You wanted to be a star, young man, this is the price of fame. Travis slammed his fist on the desk, making the phone camera shake. Nah, man, this ain't the price of fame. This is you being messy, you being reckless. Just trying to get views off my pain. But then, like a whisper fighting against a storm, his wife's voice finally broke through. I don't know whose baby it is. Time froze. The chat went dead silent for a second, then erupted louder than ever before. She admitted it. This is insane. Travis, leave her now. Viewers couldn't process what they were hearing. Even Stephen A., the king of words, was quiet for a long moment, his mouth slightly open as if even he hadn't expected that blunt confession. Travis staggered backward, his face drained of color. You? What? He whispered, his voice breaking like shattered glass. You telling me right now, in front of all these people, that you don't even know if the baby is mine? His body trembled, and for the first time, it wasn't anger, it was heartbreak flooding through him. She reached out a hand, her voice desperate. Travis, please, I was scared. I didn't want to hurt you, I didn't want to admit what might be true. But I love you, I never stopped loving you. He pushed her hand away, tears now running down his face, unashamed for the thousands watching. You love me? You love me, but you were out here smiling in his face, letting the whole world think he had a place in our home. Love don't look like that. Stephen A. cleared his throat, regaining his composure. This right here, this is why I said what I said. Travis, you can't keep pretending, and she can't keep hiding. The truth always comes out, and the people deserve to know if the man they cheer for every week is about to raise a child that ain't his. Travis spun toward the screen, fury back in his eyes. Stop saying the people deserve to know. They don't deserve anything. They don't live in my house, they don't lay in my bed, they don't cry with me at night. I'm done with this circus. But before he could end the live, his wife stepped forward, her voice rising. No, we're not running from this anymore. If they want the truth, they'll get it. Yes, I was close to his teammate. Yes, I made choices I regret. But I don't know how far it went. I don't know what lines were truly crossed. And that's why I don't know whose child this is. But I swear, Travis, I never stopped loving you. I never wanted to lose us. Her confession was raw, almost unbearable. Fans typed things like, this is the most toxic live ever, and this is bigger than reality TV. Some begged Travis to walk away. Others begged him to forgive her. But then came the moment that shattered the already fragile night. A new account joined the live one that instantly caught everyone's attention. It was the official account of Travis's teammate, the very man at the center of the rumors. As his name popped up in the chat, people lost their minds. He's here! The teammate joined. This just got worse. Stephen immediately spotted it. Oh, don't tell me he's watching this too. Travis, do you see this? Your own teammate sitting in here lurking while you're breaking down? Travis's wife closed her eyes as if bracing for impact while Travis's breathing grew heavier. Then, before anyone could predict it, the teammate requested to join the live. And just like that, with a swipe of the screen, the face of the man rumored to be at the heart of the scandal appeared for the world to see. The split screen was now a nightmare Stephen A. in one corner, Travis in another, his wife behind him, and the teammate smirking in his frame like he had nothing to lose. You really want to do this? Travis spat, his eyes blazing with rage. The teammate shrugged casually. Why not? Everybody's already talking. Might as well hear it from me, right? Stephen A. leaned in, his voice dripping with sarcasm. Oh, this just keeps getting better. So tell us, young man, what exactly is going on between you and Travis's wife? The teammate chuckled, his confidence unnerving. Look, I'm not here to disrespect nobody. But let's just say lines got blurry. Emotions got involved. And if she's saying she's not sure about the baby, well, that speaks for itself, doesn't it? Travis lunged toward the camera, his voice breaking into a scream. You lying snake. You think this is a game? You think you can come on here and play with my life like it's a headline? His wife tried to pull him back, but he shoved her hand away. His body trembling with rage, the teammate leaned closer to his phone, his voice calm, almost taunting. I ain't playing, Trav. I'm just telling the truth you didn't want to hear. And maybe if you'd been there for her the way she needed, none of this would have happened. The live hit its breaking point. Stephen erased his voice, the chat exploded. Travis screamed, his wife cried, and the teammates smirked as though he had won. Fans watching said it was the most chaotic livestream they had ever seen, one that felt like a mix of sports scandal and reality television drama. And then, just as Stephen had tried to regain control, Travis ended the live abruptly. The screen went black, leaving millions stunned unanswered, and desperate for what would happen next. What nobody knew was that the chaos was far from over. Because within minutes, screenshots of the live spread across every social platform, and the fallout was about to drag families, careers, and reputations into the storm of a lifetime. The live ended, but the internet refused to let it rest. Within seconds, clips of Travis's tear-streaked face, his wife's trembling confession, and the teammates' smug grin were everywhere. Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, you name it. People who hadn't even been watching live suddenly became overnight experts, analyzing every gesture, every pause, every word. Hashtags like hashtag Travis drama, hashtag Stephen alive, and hashtag WHOS baby shot rending began climbing, and within an hour the story had outgrown the sports world and spilled into mainstream pop culture. Travis, meanwhile, went completely silent. Number posts, no tweets, nothing. Fans worried, critics speculated, and some even claimed insiders had seen him storm out of practice the next morning, refusing to speak to coaches or teammates. The silence only fueled more fire. His wife, on the other hand, posted a cryptic Instagram story, a black screen with the words, "Truth hurts, but healing begins with honesty." The comments on that post were vicious, fans tearing her apart while others begged her to come clean once and for all. But it was Stephen who reignited the blaze less than 24 hours later. He went on his show the next morning and doubled down. "Ladies and gentlemen, I don't regret a single thing I said on that live. Not one. Because what we witnessed wasn't just gossip, it was a man's life unraveling in real time. Travis Hunter is one of the most talented athletes we've ever seen, but he's in danger of losing it all if he doesn't face reality. And I'm not just talking about his marriage. I'm talking about his career, his reputation, his future. The world is watching." Clips from his monologue spread like wildfire, and suddenly the debate wasn't just about who the father of the baby might be, it was about whether Stephen A. had gone too far. Some praised him for forcing the truth into the open, saying he held Travis accountable when no one else dared. Others accused him of exploiting a broken family for clout, dragging personal matters into the public arena. The division was brutal. Meanwhile, the teammate at the center of it all wasn't staying quiet either. He went live on his own account, casually brushing off the backlash. "Y'all mad at me, but I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't break no vows. I didn't lie to nobody. If feelings got involved, that's between me and her. Travis wants to be mad, let him be mad. But I ain't carrying his burdens." His cocky attitude lit up the internet once more, with fans calling him arrogant, reckless, and downright disrespectful. Rumors began swirling that Travis confronted the teammate in the locker room. Some insiders claimed punches were thrown, while others said coaches had to physically separate them. None of it was confirmed, but when both players skipped media day the following afternoon, fans put two and two together. The drama even started pulling in outsiders, other athletes, celebrities, and influencers who couldn't resist commenting. One former player tweeted, "This is why you don't mix family with teammates. Always ends messy." A reality TV star chimed in on Instagram, writing, "This storyline crazier than anything on my show." Fans ate it up, treating Travis's private misery like episodes of their favorite drama series. Back in the Hunter household, things were unraveling. Travis's wife reportedly packed a bag and left their shared home for a few days, spotted staying with her sister. Paparazzi swarmed, capturing blurry photos of her looking worn down, holding her stomach protectively. Tabloids ran with headlines like, "Hunter's wife flees as baby drama intensifies." Meanwhile, Travis was spotted alone, hoodie pulled over his head, dodging questions from reporters. And then came another twist nobody saw coming. Travis's parents decided to speak out. His mother, emotional in a Facebook Live video, said, "My son don't deserve this. He gave his heart to that woman, he trusted her, and now the whole world laughing at him. But I raised a fighter and he will rise from this." Fans rallied around her, flooding her comments with support. But Travis's father, interviewed by a local reporter, had a very different take. "I told him from the start she wasn't the one. I told him she was gonna break his heart. Now look." Sometimes you gotta listen to your old man. The family was split right down the middle, and that fracture only deepened when Travis's wife's family entered the fray. Her brother posted on Twitter, defending her fiercely. "Y'all dragging my sister, but nobody knows what she been through. She stood by Travis when he was broke, when nobody knew his name. Now everybody acting like she's the villain. Chill out." The internet immediately pitted the two families against each other, with fans taking sides, turning a private dispute into a full-blown public feud. Through it all, Travis remained silent. But silence, in this case, spoke volumes. Every day he didn't speak, fans grew more restless. Does this mean he's leaving her? Is he going to request a trade to get away from his teammate? Is he quitting football altogether? The speculation was endless. Then, 3 nights after the original live, Travis finally broke his silence with a post that nearly broke the internet. It was a simple black and white photo of him sitting alone in the locker room, head down, with the caption, "When the truth cuts deep, only faith keeps you standing." No mention of his wife, no mention of the baby, no mention of the teammate. But the cryptic nature of it only fanned the flames higher. Fans debated endlessly in the comments. Was he walking away from his marriage? Was he walking away from the game? Or was he just trying to keep his faith in the middle of chaos? And while the internet tore itself apart over interpretations, Stephen A. once again jumped back into the spotlight. He went live a second time, addressing Travis directly. "Young man, I see you posting about faith, and I respect that. But faith without action means nothing. You need to decide, are you going to let this destroy you, or are you going to rise above it? The world is waiting for your answer." It felt like gasoline on an already raging fire. And just as the dust seemed ready to settle, yet another bombshell dropped. Leaked text messages allegedly between Travis's wife and the teammate hit the internet. The messages showed her calling him late at night, confessing feelings, even hinting that she wasn't sure how to tell Travis the truth about the baby. Screenshots spread like wildfire, though skeptics questioned whether they were real or fabricated. Still, the damage was done. Travis's wife responded on her Instagram story, insisting not all screenshots are real. "People want to see us fail. Don't believe everything," but her denial only raised more eyebrows. By now, the drama had grown too big to contain. Analysts on sports networks debated whether this would ruin Travis's season. Gossip shows speculated about his wife's next move. Fans flooded the teammates' comments with anger, some even threatening him. The story was everywhere, bigger than football, bigger than sports. It had become cultural theater. And while the world debated, Travis prepared to make the hardest decision of his life, one that would either save his marriage or end it forever. Weight of the decision crushed Travis from every angle. His coaches urged him to focus on football, telling him the season couldn't wait for his personal life to stabilize. His agent warned him that sponsors were already nervous, some quietly pulling back from deals because of the scandal. His mother called every night, crying, begging him to leave his wife and protect himself. His wife, on the other hand, kept sending him messages, pleading for forgiveness, swearing that love could still hold them together. And as if that pressure wasn't enough, the teammate at the center of the storm decided to go public once again. He sat down for a podcast interview, and his words sent shockwaves all over again. "Look, man, I ain't trying to be messy, but I'll say this: feelings got complicated, and I'm not gonna lie about that. But when it comes to the baby, if it turns out I'm the father, I'll step up. I ain't running from responsibility." The clip went viral immediately. Fans were outraged at his casual tone, some calling him bold, others calling him heartless. For Travis, it was like another knife in the back. Not only was his teammate refusing to show remorse, but he was also openly positioning himself as a possible father figure to the child. Travis finally snapped. A few days later, he returned to Instagram Live, this time alone, his eyes puffy, his voice raw. Thousands joined instantly, desperate for answers. He didn't waste time. "I never wanted my life to be like this. I worked too hard to get here, and I thought I had people around me who loved me the way I loved them. But y'all saw what happened. You saw what was said. Now I gotta face the truth, even if it hurts." He paused, swallowing hard. "I love my wife. I really do. But love don't fix betrayal. Love don't erase lies. And right now, I can't tell if the baby she's carrying is mine. Until I know, I can't pretend everything's fine." The honesty shook fans to their core. Some praised him for finally speaking his truth, while others worried he was unraveling in public. But then he dropped the bombshell, "We're getting a DNA test. That's the only way forward. When I know the truth, then I'll know what decision to make." The live ended abruptly after that, but the damage and anticipation was massive. Within hours, #DNA test began trending. Fans argued over what the results would show, some convinced it was his, others betting everything that it wasn't. Memes flooded timelines, and late-night comedians even cracked jokes about it on their shows. The drama had transcended sports completely. It was now a national obsession behind the scenes. Sources claimed Travis's wife was furious that he announced the DNA test so publicly. She allegedly felt humiliated, telling friends that he turned their private pain into a spectacle. But Stephen A., never one to back down, defended Travis on his show once again. That young man has every right to demand the truth. If his wife is upset about that, then she should have thought about the consequences before stepping out. Plain and simple, the divide between supporters and critics grew even wider. Some fans began organizing online petitions urging Travis to leave his wife, claiming she had embarrassed him enough. Others argued that mistakes happen, that love can survive even the darkest betrayals. It became less about the couple themselves and more about the audience projecting their own beliefs onto them. Then came the night of the DNA results. Reporters claimed the couple went together to a clinic, paparazzi snapping photos of Travis walking with his head down, his wife clinging to his arm, both looking drained. For days afterward, no word came out. Speculation reached a fever pitch, with fans refreshing feeds nonstop, desperate for an answer. Finally, 1 week later, Travis posted a message that nearly broke the internet all over again. It was a simple video of him sitting in his car, silent for almost a full minute before speaking. "The results are in," he whispered, his voice shaking. "And the baby is mine." The revelation sent shockwaves through every corner of social media. Fans who had doubted her were stunned. Some cheered, some groaned, some insisted the results were staged. But the bigger twist was yet to come. Travis leaned closer to the camera, his eyes red. "It's mine. But I don't know if I can forgive her." Those words pierced deeper than anything else. The DNA test settled the question, but the real issue, the betrayal, the broken trust, still loomed. His wife posted shortly after a picture of the ultrasound with the caption, "Our child. Our future. No matter what happens, I'll always love this family." Comments flooded in. Some supportive, many hostile. As the world absorbed the truth, the teammate once again inserted himself into the narrative. He went live, visibly frustrated, saying, "So it's his kid, fine, but y'all acting like I'm the villain. She came to me, not the other way around. I ain't apologizing for feelings I didn't ask for." His words only made things worse, painting him as even more unapologetic. Fans demanded the team suspend him, some even calling for his release. The locker room reportedly became a war zone, players forced to take sides. Some stood with Travis, others quietly sympathized with the teammate. Coaches struggled to keep the team focused, fearing the scandal would ruin their season. Insiders whispered that management was considering trading one of them just to stop the bleeding. Travis, caught in the middle of it all, released one final message before disappearing from social media. "I'm gonna be a father. I'm gonna handle my responsibilities. But forgiveness don't come easy. Pray for me." The world was left hanging, unsure whether he would stay in the marriage, whether the locker room would survive the rift, or whether his career could withstand the relentless storm. The only certainty was that the saga had changed everything: his family, his reputation, his relationships, and nothing would ever be the same. And as fans scrolled through their feeds, debating, speculating, and arguing, one thought echoed louder than all the rest. They had just witnessed one of the most shocking, emotional, and unforgettable chapters in sports drama history. And just like that, the dust refuses to settle. The DNA test confirmed the child belongs to Travis, but the scars left behind are deeper than any result on a piece of paper. Fans are still divided. Some believe Travis should walk away from his wife for good, saying trust, once broken, can never truly be rebuilt. Others argue that this is the perfect chance for forgiveness, that love and family can survive even the harshest storms. And then there are those who can't stop pointing fingers at the teammate, demanding justice, demanding consequences, demanding accountability. But what about Travis himself? The young star is standing at a crossroads, and his next move could define the rest of his career, his family, and his legacy. Does he choose to rebuild with his wife for the sake of love and the baby they now know is his? Or does he cut ties completely, focusing only on his child and his future, leaving behind the woman who broke his trust? And let's not forget Stephen A. Smith, the man who lit the spark in the first place. Some say he went too far, others say he was the only one brave enough to confront the truth. But no matter what side you're on, one thing is clear: this story has shaken the entire sports world to its core. Now, we want to hear from you. Should Travis forgive his wife and fight for his family, or should he walk away and protect his peace? Do you think the teammate deserves punishment, or was he just caught up in a messy situation? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. We'll be reading every single one. And don't forget, if you want more shocking updates and explosive stories like this, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next chapter of the drama. Because trust me, this story is far from over.